cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Baby, you are so money and you don't even know it.
I understood that reference.
Morning, Mr. Hammond. Your mission, should you accept it, steal, destroy, shadow, disappear, assemble the team, and here we go.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to Freewheeling Fridays as a part of the Madness Entertainment Group. This is the show where we introduce you to some of the best creators from all over the world, and we find out more about them by taking your questions. And we also talk about all things pop culture, because when is there not something going on in the pop culture realm? I'm your host, Ryan of Anti-Quote Channel, and our guest on this episode is someone who apparently outdoes all the Kickstarters, all the quotas, every single month, every single day, every single year. Please welcome of Worthy Chaos Comics herself, Corissa Grant is in the building. Hello, Corissa. Welcome back. How are you?
Thank you for having me back on. This is the first time on your show, so back on the madness. But I think this is the first time I've been on this show, right?
Yes, it is. First time for everything, as they might say. But it's good to see you. And congratulations on all your success up to this point. If you have any questions for Corissa, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. We'll be taking those as they come in respectively. And if you're joining us live or on the replay, thank you so much for joining us. We cannot do this without you. So, Corissa, for someone who may be unfamiliar with the name Corissa Grant or Worthy Chaos Comics, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
And forgive me for talking somewhat quieter because my husband's sleeping and I'm upstairs. But I am Corissa Grant. I am the writer and creator of Worthy Chaos. I have been writing for 17 years. The first 5 or 6, I was awful. Not that much better. And I have a very two ongoing series, Worthy Chaos Redemption, which is 80 issues in the series, but we're on 14 goes live in June, and we are on inking 21. And then we have the Western, that's 20 issues written, and we are on issue 2 right now live. So, and yes, we have a Kickstarter like every 6 weeks. Nothing bad. And we also don't start a Kickstarter until the issue's done. So you don't have to worry about getting it. Everything is at the printers except for the medals. We order that when payment goes through, and then those come in about 4 weeks. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's fantastic. We're going to go ahead and drop the link to the latest Kickstarter in the comments here momentarily. But before I get to that, have you been rewatching or going back and watching some of your favorite properties as you're putting together these Kickstarters to keep the creative juices or the inspiration flowing, such as Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles in Supernatural?
I don't need to keep inspiration flowing. It's always there. But I do love to watch Supernatural. I'm going to the convention in October for our anniversary 15 foot. How long have I been? 10-year anniversary, wedding anniversary. So we're going to go drool over. Well, I'm going to be drooling over the guys. But they all have my hardcovers. So that's like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Jared Jensen, they all have my hardcovers, which is such a rush. They probably didn't read it, but just knowing they have it is good enough. But yeah, I'm still writing. I wrote 2,000 words like yesterday. And hi to Josh.
Oh, I didn't see that there, so sorry. Yes. Hi and good afternoon / night. Oh, Josh Perry. Good to see you, Josh. If everything's well in your neck of the woods, man. No, that's cool. Jared and Jensen, I'm trying to think here. I'm surprised they haven't offered you a walk-on role in some of their upcoming shows or movies at this point, because you enjoy their work so much.
Yeah, well, maybe if they do issue 16, we'll see. Yeah, you don't have to keep making me big. I don't like to be big.
Okay, sorry. My apologies. I do that. I want to give my guests, the spotlight and make them the center of attention. But if they wish to not do, that's fine too. No worries.
Yes, that is just too much of me, but I appreciate it.
No worries. And then Josh says I'm working on my own story that he's writing right now. Hey, that's cool. I take it there's a lot more plushies been added to your collection.
Yep. And this series Western is plushie galore. I think I added 4 new ones this Kickstarter. There's the Mothman, 2 versions of the Mothman, Jersey Devil, our Phoenix Crow, and our Dragon Cat. So there's more, and that's also with the Bigfoot and the Wendigo. Yeah, they're all there. So if you like cryptids, it's the best way. And I see you put the links in there. I always tell people the best way to find me is to search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter, Google, Facebook, whatever. It's the best way to find us. But of course, now we have like I've had like 17 Kickstarters, but live.
Yeah. Well, I don't. We missed out on some of the words you said there. You suddenly went quiet there for a moment.
Well, I've never been told that before, but yeah, I have I have issue 2 live now, and I have the pre-launch for issue 14 for Redemption that goes live in June. Heard about what?
You said that this world is not for us. Gee whiz, Josh, where are you going? Where are you going with some of these words? What am I gonna do? But no, in all sincerity, though, that's great. Congratulations. More plushies is better for everybody, right? You know, pull something from out of what's the film that I remember seeing this in? Oh, Despicable Me. It's a fluffy. You know, it's just,
oh, it's so fluffy, I'm gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah,
I do think about that every time I get a new plushie.
Mm-hmm.
Josh is such the life of the party.
He is, isn't he? And I take it, what is it? You do a show every once a month with some friends of
It's
yours?
once a month now. Yeah, I mean, I was doing it every week, but it gets exhausting. So I don't know how you do it. Don't you do like 3 of them a week?
Yeah, I do. I do 3 shows a week. Sometimes it's 4.
Yeah, you're
I don't
crazy.
know how I do it, considering the fact that I work a 9 to 5 job. And no, folks, this isn't 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. This is 9 o'clock at night to 5 a.m. in the morning.
Do you really?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. I do it 5 nights a week. For those of you who are wondering, I work at a place called Lowe's. Anybody ever heard of it? It's only been around for like 100 years. But
Wait, they're 24 hours? Oh, are you stocking?
No, I'm stocking the shelves.
That's what my husband used to do for Home Depot. So he's your rival. He used to work at night and stock the shelves.
Team Orange, and we're Team Blue and Red.
Blue?
So yeah, blue primarily, but we do have red vests. But we don't, since we're overnight crew, we don't have to wear them because we're overnights. Nobody sees us. Nobody cares. But yes, that's my overnight job. It's not easy. The struggle is real, ladies and gentlemen. The struggle is real. But hey, we're making money.
I'd be perfect at an overnight job because I only sleep 4 hours a day. So but I just never did an overnight. But I would have been perfect at them.
Oh, 4 hours. You know, on average, I've heard studies find that the best thing for a person to do is get 8 hours a night. But for you, 4 hours just seems to do the trick.
Well, I don't really have a choice. My body's like, you're awake now. So, and then I sit there and stare at the ceiling for another 4 hours because I'm too lazy to get out of bed. So if it wasn't lazy, I'd get a lot more done. Gotcha.
Let me see. Josh says there's monsters out there. And have you seen anything out there? Have I seen anything out there in my neck of the woods? There's a cat or 2 that live in the store where I work, but I don't mind cats.
I've seen shadow men when I was a teenager, but that's about it.
Really? Where was the shadow man? Where was that?
So I was house sitting, and fortunately it wasn't my house, otherwise it'd be a lot worse. And I'd never been there before, and I was laying in bed, and there was like a little bit of light from the bedroom door, and now I need complete darkness. So I don't know if it's because of this, who knows. But anyway, I saw a shadow of a man on the wall. Now it wasn't like, this thing is not working. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Buzzing my ear, so I wasn't sure. So it wasn't like a shadow man, like walking. It was like the shadow of a man. Like it was really weird. And I was watching it go across the room, and then it disappeared under the bed. And I jumped up like an idiot to go look under the bed, like I was at the edge of the bed. And I was like, nope, not going to do that. So I laid back down, and then I was like convincing myself, okay, I must have been sleeping, and then just suddenly woke up and saw it. Like that was what I convinced myself. So I went to bed, and I got the hell out of there in the morning and never came back. So
wow.
Yeah, it wasn't until like, I think it was like 20 years later, maybe 15 years later, I was watching some ghost show, and this woman's like, oh yeah, I was laying in bed and I saw the shadow of a man go across the room and go under the bed. I was like, I saw the same thing. And that's when I was like, oh, maybe I did see something. Yeah.
Wow. I've never heard of the shadow. I mean, I haven't heard a shadow man type story before, so this is all news to me. But I like hearing this kind of stuff because I don't hear this every day when I'm at work. I hear other stories when we're, as people do when they're at work, they tell stories or they're just jibber jabbering about whatever. And now Perry says, "Hey, I just finished making popcorn. Now I'm watching television." Well, I guess. Well, what are you watching, Josh? What is it that's on your TV that's entertaining you for the next couple of minutes or hours? This is just out of curiosity, I guess, because let me see. Shadow Man. I feel like when you tell these types of stories, I feel like we should be sitting around a campfire and then we take a bag full of dust and then we say, "Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society. I call this story da 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 da," because there was a TV series back in the day called "Are You Afraid of the Dark?"
I remember that.
That was on Nickelodeon. Does anyone? I remember watching that every single Saturday night. I was sitting on my either the couch or the recliner and watching it. Did you ever do that?
I did. I watched it all the time, and I used to tell stories over campfires. In fact, I was in the Brownies once, not the Girl Scouts, and I hated it. I wanted to get in so bad that I had to convince my friend and I had to convince our moms to be like den mothers, and then we hated it. It was just too structured for us, too goody whatever. So we were staying at this campfire thing, and I told, I don't even remember the story I told, but I told some really horrifying stories, and none of the girls could sleep after that, and I got in a lot of trouble. And I was trying to get myself kicked out, but it didn't work. But yeah, I got in a lot of trouble for it. So
wow, oh my goodness, Corissa being the rebel that she is, folks, going against the grain, as one might say.
I don't know. I wasn't the this door-to-door selling cookie type, I guess.
Nope. So much for the what are those cookies called in Girl Scouts? The truffles or the chocolate chip? I can't remember. What are they called? Mint chocolate chip cookies? I don't remember. Anyway,
there's a lot of them. The Thin Mints, and then there's the Tagalongs. Or
I was thinking of Thin Mints a moment ago. Thank you.
There you go.
I was trying to think of what it was called, but yeah, that's what it is. Wow.
Those are good.
I never went to sleepaway camps or summer camps like a lot of people have in their past when they were kids. I never did that.
I never went to camps. This is the only thing that came close, and I don't remember much about it except for it wasn't really camping. It was like an open pavilion. So we had a roof over our heads, but there was like no walls, and there was a wooden floor under us, and we had like fire pits or something and sleeping bags. But it was so boring. I hated that shit. So.
And I was actually looking this up earlier before we jumped into the green room. Because as for those of you who follow certain websites across social media that have sales like every day, if not every weekend, there's a place called tpublic.com. And there was a t-shirt design that I noticed on there that says, "Adventure awaits, step by step, I'll find my way to the top." So it seems like, we all follow our own paths, right? So Carissa's following her own path. So it's like, you know what? No matter what happens, I'll just find my own way to the top of this mountain. I don't need anyone's help. I don't need a summer camp's help. I don't need a camp counselor's help, whatever. You've been carving your own path since day one.
Man, it's only been 2.5 years. If you can believe that.
It feels like you've been doing this a lot longer.
It feels like longer. Well, in 2.5 years, we have successfully completed. Let's see. He's on issue 21 now.
Yeah.
We're finishing up the third one. We had three other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So 25, 26 issues completed in 2.5 years. So that's an issue a month. Damn. It's over it. That's more than.
Is it?
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's better than what Marvel and DC does these days.
Yeah. Well, it hasn't. It's expensive, so I jumped into it like an effing moron. So, it's just like, oh, how hard can it be? Let's make a comic book. I mean, by the time I started this series, now we have total about 150 issues written, but when we started the comics, we had 50 issues written. If not a little bit more, but because we had the, I keep saying Redemption, but it's Redemption, and we actually split it. It's Redemption has 23 issues, so there's only 2 more complete ones to draw. And then we have Conviction, which is 25 issues, and then we have Resurrection, that's 25 issues. Then we have a prequel called Damnation. That's we have 1 done, but we're going to redo it. And then in the Westerns, like 20 issues. So we've got enough for the next 30 years, maybe.
I was going to say, Kevin Feige, eat your heart out. Man, that's a multiverse that's been well planned out in advance, better than what Kevin Feige's been doing recently, with a lot of the recent MCU movies being, well, let's just call them what they are, duds.
Yep.
They're not working. They're not working. They're just not.
I agree.
I don't know what they're going to do to clean up that act. I think it might be too far. What is it called? Too far gone? Or they might be too little, too late. Is that the expression? It probably is. I don't know. Good luck, Kevin. But hey, if you need help, consult this one because Carissa knows better than I do. For sure.
We have a lot written, man. We have 16 novels and 15 are complete. So one's not complete, but yeah. I'm
She
still
willikers.
writing. She hurt her shoulder, so she hasn't written for a while. I'm having withdrawals, but my co-writer. If anyone doesn't know, we each write one main character. So I write Serafina, who's the angel, and my co-writer Jess writes Olive Draven. So when you read them, they have two completely different personalities. So it's kind of cool.
Well, teamwork makes the dream work, it's fair to say. Once again, we are here with the guest of honor, Corissa Grant of Worthy Chaos Comics on Freewheeling Fridays. Do not forget to like and share this. And if you're joining us live or on a replay, thank you for doing so. And Josh, you have very unique comments in that chat box. That's all I'm going to say.
Is he talking to us or to himself?
I think he's talking to himself at this point because I'm looking at the last three statements here, Carissa, and it looks like he's just talking to himself. I'm not sure. Josh, you okay over there? Do we need to get you something?
Is there ghosts in his house? Because he's like, what's that sound? And then like, what a nice room. Who's he talking to?
Probably could be a ghost in his residence. I have no idea. But for someone who wants to dive into the Kickstarter waters, what advice would you give that individual?
Oh my God! Don't no. Actually, I'm a huge advocate for crowdfunding, and I don't understand why some people are so highly against it because it's free. So I mean, they take 10% out of whatever you make, but if you don't make anything, you have nothing to lose. So yeah, I think I really like Kickstarter, but there's a lot of things about them I don't like. I don't like that they don't save the addresses. They gotten better, but I'm waiting for an address for one person. He's backed 3 campaigns, 3, and I appreciate it. And you paid. I'd like to send you your stuff. And then I have I hate that the payment errors happen when the time runs out. I want to know what I'm making, but no, I have to wait. And I've lost 400 before. I've lost 300. I've lost 250. My last one was 260. So yeah, when the bell rings, when the timer runs out, I have no idea how much I made. So
I'm sorry to hear that, by the way.
You've never done a Kickstarter?
No, but if I ever do one, I know who I'm going to consult. I'll talk to, kind folks like yourself and Multerry and some other people that we know of. And hey, there's a cute cat alert on camera too. I'm loving this. Who's this? Who's this munchkin here? Who might this be?
This is Mickey. She's a pain in my ass. And then I don't know if you can see them. We have one up there is AJ, and then there's 2. This is Misty, and that over there is my asshole, Enzo. So, yeah.
4 cats living together, mass hysteria. I'm surprised they haven't all tried to kill each other.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, well, I'm kidding because cats are. What's the expression? Cats are more domesticated than dogs. For what I've been told, I might be wrong though. I don't know.
I think dogs are more domesticated.
Oh, it's the
mine are
opposite
pretty
direction.
good though. They're not too bad.
They're not. Okay.
No,
well,
these are pretty good. The asshole Enzo is too smart for his own good, and he just such a dick. Like he just tries to cause as much problems, and he wants to get yelled at. He's a sadist of a cat. Like he just loves getting yelled at. So.
Boy, that's an interesting personality for a cat, isn't it?
Pretty much.
Ever since, I guess it's just excuse me, one of those things. But yeah, if I ever do put together what is known as a Kickstarter, I will talk to Corissa Grant, Rob Multerry of Lone Wolf Comics.com, Lone Wolf Comics. He's been doing it for a long time, right? Rob Multerry.
Yeah.
There's some other was it Lori? Lori's been doing it for a good while now. She knows what she's doing.
She's been doing it a year longer, but she's done less. But hers do like really well. So she's got very, very loyal backers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can always talk to. Who knows? Maybe I'll turn my short story into a comic book.
There you go.
Right? I mean, people have done that before, haven't they?
Absolutely.
Maybe I'll turn my short story that's a 80s treasure hunter journey into a comic book.
I think you should.
Really?
I never thought I would turn. I remember thinking that it was such a waste because I could never release my stories as novels. I was like, what am I going to do with them? I had no idea what I was going to do with them. But just one day I was like, oh, light bulb goes off. And I was like, oh, let's make comic books. And I don't write. Everyone gets mad when I say that. I'm actually not a very good writer, but I'm really, really good storyteller. So it just fits comic books so well because all you have to read is my dialogue, and I'm really good at dialogue, which I've said before on my show that my editors hate me because I refuse to let them change the dialogue. So the dialogue, they're only allowed to check spelling and to add commas or remove commas because I always do the opposite of whatever you're supposed to do. And that's it. That's all they're allowed to do. And they hate it. But when people talk, they do not speak proper English. So my characters talk how somebody talks, how a person talks. So that's what I prefer.
Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, really standing on your own 2 feet, as one might say. You stand by what you believe in, and you stand by your storyline.
I do, because I make them for me, which is something that I would tell anyone that's going to get into comic books. Do not do it for you. Like someone said to me, why do you have issue 21 being drawn? You don't even know if 14 is going to sell. And I was like, it doesn't matter. I did it for me. Hopefully people buy it so they can help get me out of debt. But yeah, I'm gonna make them anyway. So yeah.
Well, this is where I wish I could cue. We don't have it here on set, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I could cue up the the scene where Wonder Woman comes out with the shield and the sword, and her theme kicks in, because this is how awesome-tacular Corissa Grant is as a person, as a storyteller. Because I've known you for a while.
You have, yeah.
And I know how dedicated you are to what you're doing and putting together these stories and trying to get them out to your backers, your readers, your audience, your supporters, and all that kind of jazz. So believe me when I say, where's Tina Gal when you need her with the violin? I'm sorry. I'm having a flashback to BVS when Wonder Woman shows up and saves Bats and Soups from getting their asses handed to them by I'm thinking of Gal Gadot's iteration, not necessarily Linda Carter. I respect what Linda Carter did because she's the OG, but I'm thinking of Gal Gadot's entrance in BVS, which is Batman versus Superman. I know a lot of people crap on it, and I get it. But listen, the director's cut of that movie is way better. It's way better. I mean, anything that's a director's cut of any film is going to be 10 times better than what you're going to get in theaters, right?
Right. Yeah.
So if anyone's out there and if you want to attempt to learn what Zack Snyder was attempting to do back in the mid 2010s, go and revisit BVS, but look for the Ultimate Edition, not the theatrical cut, because the theatrical cut is trash. Yeah. It is. I mean, and it's funny though, because I went to a press screening of that in 2016. Did I ever tell you that story?
Mm-mm.
I did. I went to a press screening, and I was the only person in the theater who started getting teary-eyed at a certain scene that happens at the end of the movie. # minor spoilers. Superman dies.
What?
And I started crying because Superman's my favorite character of all time. Hence the reason I'm wearing this. So, which is an S shield from Smallville, in case anyone's wondering what the heck this is. Because Smallville was a TV series that ran for 10 seasons, in case anyone's wondering. Yeah, I was the only person in the theater that started to get, and I thought everyone started just like they were stunned, I guess, or they were just kind of like dumbfounded. They were like, "What the frack is this guy doing?" But I started crying because that's how much I care about the character.
That's adorable.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just who I am. But aside from that craziness, who knows? Maybe my treasure hunter story will turn into a comic book, and then I'll talk to people like Carissa and Rob and all these other people and find out who can I get for a artist, who can I get for this, who can I get for that, and then we'll just play a game of 20 questions. So,
yeah.
It's probably what I'm going to end up doing here in the next few months. So stay tuned. By the way, you too, Kat. But before I ask Carissa next mind-bending or just not mind-altering in any way, shape, or form, because the last thing I want to do is look at Carissa and say, do you want to take the red pill or do you want to take the blue pill? And put her in the Matrix or put her somewhere else. I'm just kidding you. But we do want to say thank you to all the people who are out there creating their own stories, putting out their own kind of things and materials. And we want to take a moment to thank our sponsors, such as these kind folks. Take a look.
Beyond the world we know is a place where reality bends and time stands still. A place where legends, fairy tales, and nightmares are real. A world where legends are born and destinies collide. Alice has spent her life lost in an interdimensional rift known as Wonderland, and it forged her into a deadly bounty hunter. With her ancient clockwork guardian Big Tin by her side, they hunt the things that stalk the shadows of Wonderland. Alice Lost in Wonderland, issues 1 and 2 launch May 6 on Kickstarter. Follow along at GoMrFish.com.
I am Bo-Katan, and you are watching us on Madness Comic Network.
Wow, thank you, Bo-Katan Kryze. Sorry, I'm a Star Wars fan. It happens. Comes with the territory. Let's see. Josh says, I like to collect Pokemon cards for fun. He likes to watch film and WWE, which is pro wrestling there, Josh. Pro wrestling. Like to watch any kinds of television series. He's a Dallas Cowboys fan, Carissa. Did you know that about Josh?
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's a Dallas Cowboys fan. The more you know. Goodness gracious. So where's your favorite place to write when you're writing these stories? Is it your office? Do you go outside? What do you do?
Exactly where I am now, on my couch. I have a nice office downstairs with a desk, but nope. You know, my cat is, you don't have to push against and knock the whole thing out. So just rub it against the laptop so that it falls over.
Being a silly cat, one might say. Or what's the song from Friends? Smelly cat, smelly cat. Lisa Kudrow. Anybody remember that?
Yep.
Goodness gracious. Do you write in complete and utter silence? Or do you have music playing?
So if I'm writing, I'll put on music on YouTube, but if I'm reading it back, and then I have nothing on. It has to be paused. It has to be on but paused. So I don't know why.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Hey, I was just wondering what works for you as a writer.
So I have dyslexia, and one of the things that I didn't know was about dyslexia is that we always see movement like on the peripheral, whatever. And I always had it. I just didn't know that's what it was. I always was like, why, whatever. But for some reason, if I turn on the TV and I pause it, it doesn't happen. So I don't know. It's weird. Maybe my mind's like, oh, the world is paused. I don't know. I don't try to understand my mind. I just let it do what it does.
That's fine. The good news is it's just like one of those, when you pause the music and then you go back and read back some of the material, it's kind of like saying, this is the moment where the earth stood still.
I
like that.
Rarely read my stuff back, but yeah.
Oh, really? You just keep putting it out?
I just keep writing. Yeah. I'll read the scripts over and over again, but the novels I'll read my co-writers' replies. I don't read my stuff. So, and sometimes I don't even read it once. So,
yeah, understandably so. What do you prefer, ebook or physical copies of stuff?
So it's easy to read on the computer, but I absolutely love the hardcover. The singles are okay, but when I first got the hardcover, it was such a permanent thing that I was like, I love it. So I'm a hardcover girl. I love reading the hardcover, but I read the ebooks too because they're right there on my phone or the computer or whatever. So I like that you can zoom in. So.
Oh, okay. Understandably so. Been any conventions in the last number of months or years since the last time we saw you?
So I did a local one in Gatlinburg last month, and I did a free one like 2 weeks ago, and I made more there than most places I pay for. So that was nice. I made like 300 and something bucks. I have a lot more this year than I usually do because I'm doing a lot of cryptid ones, design of the cryptids. So I have two Bigfoot conventions. I have one in Gatlinburg, and I have one in some place I've never heard of. And I have the Lexington Cryptid Con, which is one of the largest cryptid cons. I'm doing that in November. At the end of this month of May, I'm doing the TerraCon for anyone that's going to be in Kingsport, Tennessee. It's 3 days. I hate 3-day cons, but it's all right. And then I have the CreepyCon, which is August, I think. And then I have the one I do every single year, and that's the Nashville Comic-Con in June. That's my favorite one.
Boy, you're going to be a busy individual, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to regret it. 'Cause they exhaust me. They absolutely exhaust me. But
yeah. If it's not a 3-day con, 2-day cons are still exhausting. I take it.
They're not
2-day
as
ones that are Saturday,
bad.
Sundays.
My favorite's 1-day cons that I can drive to and drive back. Like I don't have to pay for anything. The Nashville one is 2 days, and that's not bad. I like that one. It goes pretty quick. I like Saturday and Sunday. I hate Fridays. Like I don't know why anyone has Fridays. They're always the slowest. It's just not worth it for me to do those. So
Yeah, understandably so. For someone who's interested in handling conventions, what advice would you give those individuals?
have a hook. Not a literal hook, though that might help. My new hook is I have a big display of the cryptid stickers. So people stop to look at those, and while they're looking at those, I'm like, oh, if you like cryptids, I have these comic books over here that you can look at. For that,
Oh,
really annoying. I hated cons before I had the sticker displays because I have to call people over, and I hated doing it. I don't like to bother people, so that I'm very grateful for the stickers. So
well, who doesn't like a good sticker to put on a notebook or a water bottle?
they sell really well. It's really crazy. I don't know where everyone's sticking these stickers, but I'm gonna keep buying it.
No puns intended, ladies and gentlemen. You know where you can stick it.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's
pretty much.
something that just came out of the clear blue. But yeah, no, stickers are very everywhere I look at cons. Yeah, stickers sell pretty damn well. We were in DC at Awesome Con. They sold pretty well from some of my friends' booths who were there because I have a bunch of friends who do these shows every year. I think Matt did very well with his stickers. I'm just like, damn, dude, everyone likes these stickers, man. You're just killing it. So
It saved
yeah.
my butt at least twice where it made the table, it paid for the table twice, 3 times it's paid for the table. So
Well, that's good. Yeah, something I've noticed in the convention circuit over the last several months, or if not the last year or so, are prices have gone way up for tables.
yep. That's
Which
why
is
I don't really
unfortunate.
that's why I don't like to do any that are I don't like to go to hotels. The only ones I stay at a hotel, I think I'm staying at 3. Only 3. The rest I'm driving to that day. So
Gotcha. Yeah.
that's mostly where your cost goes. The table is like $350, and the hotel is like another $400-$500. That's $1,000 right there. I've never made it. I think my most ever was at Nashville. I made like 500 and something. It's the most I've ever made. So
Oh, all right. I hear you. But yeah, no, I've heard the prices have gotten outrageous. It seems like there's a lot of unnecessary charges being thrown at people, and then there's corporate greed. They just want money. For certain conventions, not all of them, of course, not all of them, but just unfortunate.
it does, because you know what they're turning into is they're turning into non-comic book related things. Like I see a lot of those 3D printed booths, which is fine, but I see a lot of those. I see a lot of just random stuff that's not very comic book related. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's been a bit challenging depending on who you ask or what conventions and all that kind of stuff. I'll tell you one thing that bothers me to know, and this isn't anything against Artist Alley or Exhibitors Alley, because I respect all the people who do it, because I've met so many wonderful people through Artist Alley, Exhibitors Alley, Makers Alley, all those kind of things, right? But these, celebrities who are charging $140 a signature, I'm just like, are you out of your freaking mind? Like,
Yep.
you guys aren't curing cancer here. You see what I'm saying? just that's one of the things that annoys me is celebrities charge an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah, I think the most expensive I've paid. I think I paid $150 for the Walking Dead signature and $125 for Robert Englund. And other than that, I think everything else was like $60 or something. So, yeah.
Which in some cases that's the average.
Yeah, Robert Englund took 4 hours. And it's not because there were a lot of people in front of me. It's because he talks to every single person. We timed him. It was 12 minutes for one person. It was insane.
Wow. I didn't know Freddy Krueger likes to be the jibber jabber.
Oh, he was the nicest guy, but like halfway through the line, I was like hating him more and more because I was just like, my feet hurt and I was exhausted and I was hanging out with these people. We were about to invite each other's wedding, and it was just like awful. And they kept saying, you might not make it because he has to go to lunch. And I was like, I'm damn well making it. I'm tracking him down to lunch. Like, it was just like, oh. So after 4 hours, it was finally, then they were like, well, okay, now you can't have personalized items because it's taking too long. I was like, it's taking too long because he doesn't shut up. But he was super nice. He was a super nice guy.
What's your favorite installment of the franchise?
3, because that's the first one I've ever seen, Dream Warriors. I was 6 years old and I saw the marionette scene with the veins. And I think I've been hooked on horror ever since. So not the Saw movies. I don't really like those. And I watch Terrifier, but it's not really my type of movie. So but I like the 80s, 90s kind of movies.
Slashers.
Yeah. Slashers, or, like mysteries or suspense, or I don't know. The Saw ones, to me, I know they're very popular. I know I met all the people from Terrifier. In fact, when I was a guest at the CreepyCon last year, they were there. Everyone from Terrifier was there. So I was hanging out with them in the green room, which was really nice. And they're very nice. And I even said to him, I was like, you're either a serial killer in real life or you're just a really amazing actor, because he was just super nice. Didn't answer, so don't know which one it is. Yeah, they're super nice, but they don't have a story. It's just shut up, Enzo. So yeah, not my thing. And I find the first Saw movie was okay, a little boring, but it at least had some thought. He's gonna cry the whole freaking time. But
I couldn't sleep for 2 weeks after watching Saw.
The first one?
So thanks. Yeah, thanks to what's his name? Who's the guy? What's his name? James Wan. Thanks, James Wan.
He died,
really...
right?
No. He's not. No, he's young. He's not going anywhere.
Who? Someone in the Saw producers and someone died.
One of them did. I can't remember who it is, but it definitely wasn't James Wan.
Gotcha.
It wasn't James. James, I know you're still alive, man. Let me know if you are. If you're not. From the netherworld. But yeah, Saw creeped me out for 2 weeks. So thanks, horror fans. Yeah, that Jigsaw character, ugh, gross. But that's just me. But yeah, Dream Warriors has a great theme song too. Great theme song by Dokken.
And the best line too. Prime time.
Welcome
the
to Prime.
The improvised line when he's like, "Welcome to Primetime, bitch." That was
bitch,
improvised.
Yeah. I didn't know that was improv.
Yeah, he did that on the fly, man.
Good on you, Robert Englund. One of these days, I hope to meet him and just say thanks for Nightmare, the first one, the third one. I didn't mind the fourth one. And then
I don't remember which one's the second one.
That's Freddy's New Nightmare, I think it's called, or no, remember. Freddy's Return or something like that.
I remember 1. I remember 3. I remember when he was the cockroach.
There was the Dream Child. There was the Dream Master.
Dream Child, yeah.
Stop. And then after that was Dream Master. That was the Dream Master.
Yeah.
And then there was the meta one with Heather coming back and Robert Englund as himself. It was Freddy's New Nightmare, I think it was called.
I have not seen the new one. I wouldn't do that to Robert Englund. Screw it.
You mean the remake?
The remake. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that was the it's funny you say that because I made the mistake of going because we were in the Ocean City where I live in the state of Maryland, and that was a summer town, so we go there every summer, and we went there, and I made the mistake of seeing the remake in theaters before I saw the original. So
no.
Yeah, I know fans. I know. I saw everything in reverse.
It's
Chris.
not.
I see everything
It's
in
not
reverse.
just that it's bad. I mean, the makeup is awful. The story is awful. The acting's awful. I mean, but the makeup. I mean, he does not look. But I don't like the new. I don't like the new It either. So
Yeah. Well, the new Freddy Krueger was played by Jackie Earle Haley of Watchmen.
yeah.
And then the final girl in the new one, what is it called? Nightmare on Elm Street, was CW's own and Supernatural's own Katie Cassidy.
Oh yeah. She's still
Mhm.
alive.
Oh my gosh. Do you think everyone that we've seen in the last 10 years
One
is
of
gone?
the
No, she's still around.
Meg from the show died. That was somebody else. The one that played the first Meg. Forgot her name.
Oh.
She passed.
Yeah.
She was young.
Yeah, no. But I can't remember the name.
Yeah, but she was.
Shoot.
I liked her. She was actually. Well, I liked the last Meg too. The last Meg. I don't know if you watched Supernatural, but the one that played Meg, she has really bad disease or disorder. Like she has a hard time walking.
Really?
So like the last couple of episodes, she had to be sitting down because she can't walk. So.
No kidding. Well, I'm sorry to hear that for the actress who's suffering from that. But yeah, no, I didn't know that the first Meg passed away. That's crazy.
Yeah, I can't remember what she died of. I don't know if it was a heart valve thing or if it was something, but I just remember she was really young. Like she's a lot younger than I am. So
Well, R.I.P. I'm sorry to hear about that individual passing on. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their friends and family. But did you hear the new? Well, first two-parter. First of all, have you seen the trailer for the reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer?
I heard of it. I did not see it yet. No.
All right. Well, the trailer's out, and yes, Freddie Prinze Jr. and Jennifer Love Hewitt reprise their iconic roles from the original
No,
97
Michelle
slasher.
Gellar. His wife's not in it.
She died.
I know, but they could come up with something.
No, not well. I guess they could have done a flashback with her, but they would have had to de-age her.
sister. I don't know. Fake chick, whatever.
I guess
That's where they met,
but
right? Well, that's why they got married.
They first met on the set of making I Know What You Did Last Summer. Then they got lovey-dovey after that, and then they got married. Like the next movie, he and she were in. So yeah,
She died in the first one or the second one.
she died in the first one.
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
close to.
I know she was so close to surviving that damn thing. But the guy with the hook. And by the way, it's the same exact plot as the first movie. This reboot is the same exact plot. A group of 5 friends have they whack some guy, they bury the body, don't want anyone to know about it, and then the guy comes back with a trench coat and a hook, and then Freddie Prinze Jr. shows up to a town hall meeting in the trailer and says, "This is not the first time that we've had violence like this in Seaport."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh well, gee, I
Isn't
wonder
it the
why.
same name too? Like that, they didn't change the name, right? So I Know What You Did Last. I read the book when I was a kid.
How was the book? Was it
It
any
was
good?
all right. Yeah, it was pretty good from what I remember. I mean, it wasn't thrilled, but I liked it. There was another movie. There was another book that was kind of, what was it called? Killing Mr. Griffin. You've never.
Yeah, was that any good?
I love that book. That was awful. They like killed their teacher, and I don't think they meant to. And I think they hit his pills.
Oh, jeez.
Like his heart pills or something. And then he was such a jerk to them. So they were just like, oh, we should get back at him. And then he dies and they try to get rid of the body. And I think they made a movie about it too. Which I don't remember if I've seen the movie. I'm sure I've seen it, but yeah, I remember these little books. It's funny when I remember, because like I remember a lot of short stories that we used to read, like the Button in the Box, which I think they've made a couple movies from, but like they brought her a box. So they bring her this box and they say to her,
what did it say?
If you press the button, I can't remember the exact words, but it's like if you press the button, somebody you know will die, but you'll get, I don't know, $100,000. I don't remember what it was. And her husband told her not to press the box. He goes, it's not worth someone dying. And the guy's like, well, you really should only do it if they agree with it. And she's like, okay, I won't press it. And I guess I'll just spoil it because it's like a 40-year-old story. But so she winds up pressing the box and her husband dies at work in an accident and she gets $100,000 from his life insurance. And the guy comes to give her the check and she said, I thought you said it was somebody I didn't know would die. And she goes, well, if you press the button, then you really didn't know your husband that well. And it was like this whole thing. And I remember they made a movie of it, but they made it like such a complicated, like universal accident. It was a weird thing. But it was like a really short story.
Was it the movie The Box with Cameron Diaz and
Yes.
Frank Langella?
Yes. That was
the guy who was carrying the box. Okay.
Yeah, but they made it like some mystical, like universe. In the book, it was just you press a button, he dies. Like it wasn't
Who was
like.
Cameron Diaz and James Marsden, I think, were
Yep.
in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the guy that plays Cyclops, right?
Yeah, the guy, and he's apparently returning as Cyclops
Ah.
because they revealed the entire cast of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars in this video that was shot by Marvel Studios, including Robert Downey Jr., who shows up at the end saying, "Shh, don't tell anybody." And I'm like, well, we're going to tell everybody because you just revealed the entire flipping cast for a movie that's not even going to come out for another 3 years, you idiot.
Yeah.
Nice. Which, yeah, that's the problem with Hollywood these days. There's no surprises anymore. There's no hidden gems anymore. Everything's revealed to the public like years and years and years before the film's even out.
Or the trailer ruins it.
Yeah, the trailer ruins it. I mean, we've had a lot of scenes.
Much.
Yeah, they show a lot of things in the trailers recently that give away the entirety of the spoiler or the entirety of the storyline. I mean, someone just took pictures. That's the appropriate word. Someone took pictures of what the new Supergirl is going to look like in her movie, and then someone took pictures of Jason Momoa as Lobo, because he's going to show up in the Supergirl movie. And I'm like, dude, I don't want to know what you look like until the freaking trailer, man. Like, what the hell? It's bullshit. I'm a hardcore DC fan, but for you to reveal what my Supergirl is going to look like, and then this new guy, Lobo's been around for years, but I just haven't seen him in live action. None of us have. But Lobo, plays by Jason Momoa, I'm like, I don't want to see this stuff. I want to see it in the context of the movie. You know?
Yes.
It just makes more sense that way. Gee willikers, you people in Hollywood. You guys suck at keeping secrets.
I didn't realize it was already 11:45, so I guess we should show the Kickstarter. It's only an hour, right?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I'm on a different, what do you call it? Web browser that doesn't allow me to share my screen.
Oh.
Sorry, but do you have the ability to share your screen?
I can do it.
All right, let's let Corissa share her screen and go over the Kickstarter.
Hold on, let me see.
Because I'm on a system that doesn't do it.
It's probably better if I do it anyway because.
Hey, you're the creator.
Well, I can go faster. Oh wait, maybe I can't do it.
Oh, gee, thanks.
No, I meant scroll faster because it's long.
Yes. Which is fair.
I don't know. There it goes. That's weird. It asked me a question. It never did that before, but okay.
Here we go.
So I'll play the video if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to show you issue 1 just so you can see. No, after him.
I like that graphic of the silhouette of the guy with the cowboy hat and the jacket. I like that. I like silhouettes. I like that stuff.
Yeah, me too.
If I could have a JPEG of that silhouette, I'd put that on my computer. Oh, he does evil for a living. That's not a cocaine bear like Lori has, is it?
No.
I was gonna say, I don't think we can handle 2 more of those things roaming around. So tell us about this. So tell us tell the person who may be watching or listening to this about this Kickstarter. What do we got going on here?
Okay, so something that we have that makes it interactive is we have this journal that you can buy from us, and whenever you buy the journal, from then on, any Kickstarter that you pledge physically to, you get free pages of whatever cryptid or monster is in either campaign. So Redemption has them, and this one has the most. So our first one was the Wendigo, which here you can see the picture. It tells you a little bit about it. You can put stickers on the back of the journals or on the blank pages. And then you could follow along with her as she collects them in her journal. She has a journal too. And this one, you have 4 pages. So if you buy the Kickstarter this time, I think like $14, You get all 4 pages, and then you could buy the last 3. They're like $1 each in the add-ons. And then from then on, once you buy one, all the pages are free. So, and here are our covers. This is our main artist, our interior artist. This is our interior colorist. This Fernando did this, but this is our bear. I think he's a lot bigger there, but this is from William Russell and Dave Kemp that colored it. It's a version of the Wendigo. He looks dreadfully awful. I love him in a good way, not in a bad way. And this is the Marvel DC artist, Ivan Tao. You can Google him. He's been in a lot of stuff that I'm not going to list, but anyway, he's actually done 3 covers. So this is the main cover, and then he has sketches, but I love the sketches so much, so I had to include them. And so there's 2 of those. And this is the one he did for our other series, Redemption, which you can also buy in the add-ons or catch-up tiers. You can get the add-ons, the other series. We have hardcovers, singles, PDFs, whatever. This is also Ivan Tao. You can get this here in metal or regular. I think there's a couple of glow-in-the-darks. Here's a couple of pages. This one has Bigfoot, the Wendigo, our rat, the Mothman for the first time appears here. This is her kicking ass. I don't have any lettering here because it would spoil things. Same thing with this one. But I put letters here so you could see how our lettering is. Make sure it's something you like before you get it. Make sure you go through all the tiers because there's like 40-something of them. And then there's another 50 in the add-ons. So much so that we actually reached a limit and I could not add any more, which was actually very upsetting. You can get the PDF for issue 1, PDF for issue 2, all the covers, the catch-up. And then we have issue 1 also. You can get all the covers. I'm just going to go through real quick just so people can see. Here's the journal. You can also get it in the add-ons for $14. Here, I think it's $24. Yeah. This one comes with a sticker, the journal, 4 pages. Then we have plushies, like I said before. We have the rat that just passed. Here's our blue Mothman, our Jersey Devil, which has to be called the Leeds Devil because it's the 1800s. This is our dragon cat. And then we have our Phoenix Crow, Bigfoot, our bigger Mothman, black and gray, our Wendigo, which is my favorite. And then our 3-foot tall Bigfoot. And if you've ever seen Alf, then you would know exactly what he looks like.
Oh, I grew up watching reruns of that, Carissa.
That's what he looks like. He's so big. And make sure to check on the add-ons. We have coloring books. We have PDFs. We have physical books. We have coins. We have stickers. We have lots of metal pins. We have metal trading cards and metal bookmarks. There's a journal. There's a PDF catch-up. We have 2 hardcovers. We have plushies, more plushies. And then there you go. So, and that's all.
Wow. That's a heck of a Kickstarter and a lot of add-on. Because when I was looking at the Kickstarter earlier tonight in the green room before we arrived to discuss this, I was looking at all the add-ons. I'm like, holy cow! I've seen add-ons in my day, Carissa, but you got like 50 different add-ons for just one or two, and that's all the different tiers.
That's all I could fit. Like that's the limit. I actually have way more. I have way more. If it used to be 99, and I could fill all 99. But yeah. But I tell everyone to search Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter, and you'll see at least one pre-launch, and the other ones either in pre-launch or live are always on Kickstarter. I'm pre-approved for like 6 or 7, so I'm ready to go at all times. So our next one is June 16th. Then we have this issue 3 in August, and then we have another Redemption in October.
Goodness gracious. I got to tell you something. There's a wrestler who's retiring at the end of this year. And hey, congrats, John Cena. You win. But John Cena has always been about hustle, loyalty, and respect. And if there's one thing I know about you and your creative team is that you guys hustle every day of the week and twice on Sunday to put these books out, as well as you were mentioning earlier, right, with the Kickstarters, and you put together all these different tiers. And the add-ons are just insane.
I wish I did not have to add those every time.
Do you have to add them in manually?
Every time, yeah.
Oh.
They have an import button, but you still have to add in the pictures and everything. You have to change all the info. And for some reason, Kickstarter has not been working. Like I tried, it took me like an hour to add something today. Like it's just forever. I don't know why. I have to write to them and let them know. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. But yeah, so it takes a long time. And then, I have to go through and make sure all the pricing is right, the borders, the pictures, so many pictures. So I wish I could just duplicate. If I could just hit duplicate and it just creates the whole thing all over again, I just to change something, I would love it. I'd be like, great. I love it. But
yeah, I was gonna say it might make things easier.
A little bit, yeah. But I have a week left on this and I screwed up. I usually end up on a Friday, but I screwed up. So now I'm ending next Saturday. Yeah, so if you want to back it, go do that. You can get all the back issues. If we have another issue 1 has a Derek Chu cover, which a lot of people loved, and he worked for Marvel and DC also. So make sure to check out that one and all that stuff.
A lot of big dogs on this team.
Well, it's so funny because I wasn't supposed to do the Western. It was out of nowhere, and my husband even said, I thought you were going to slow down after the first 2 years, and now you started another series. And I was like, yeah. So I got convinced to get more expensive covers, which I did not want to do, but it's paid off. So it's brought a lot of readers. So it's good. My last Kickstarter had 300 backers. I'm hoping this one has 200. So we'll see how it goes.
Goodness gracious. Wow. I tell you, I just, I don't know. People ask me all the time, how do you work a 40-hour-a-week job that's in the middle of the night, people are sleeping, you're doing this, and then you do 3 shows on the weekends? How do you do it? I say, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out myself.
Yeah, I don't know how you do it.
I know, I really don't. One show, normally we do shows on Fridays at 7 Eastern, this one at 11 Eastern, which is Freewheeling Fridays. You may be watching or listening to this right now. Welcome. Thank you for being here. And then I do a show on Saturdays at 12. And then sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes on Saturdays, I'll have a show at 12 and another one at 7.
Damn. So I didn't know you did 2 on Friday.
Oh, did you?
I didn't know that, no.
Yeah. I do 2 shows Friday and then 1 show Saturday. So yeah, it's a plethora.
I knew the Saturday one, but yeah.
That's fair. You, by the way, anyone you're hoping to run into or say hello to at these conventions coming up that you haven't met yet? Anyone you're looking forward to seeing?
So I have met him before, but I want to see James O'Barr again because when I first saw him, I only had issue 1 to give him, but now I want to give him my hardcover, and I want to tell him that I want a cover from him. I don't care if it's just a sketch. I want a cover. And I forgot to ask him last time, and I haven't been able to contact him. So James O'Barr, I did want to meet Zachary Levi, and I've tried 3 times, and 3 times he has canceled on me. Atlanta, Orlando, and now he just canceled. It was supposed to be this weekend. Was Huntsville, Alabama, and
Huntsville.
He canceled yet again after I moved my entire clients list at work on Friday so that I could go, and then I looked it up 2 seconds later and realized he canceled, and I was so mad. But anyway.
I'm sorry to hear that. I do hope you get a chance to meet Zachary Levi. I heard he's like a giant nerd and
he's an extreme nerd. He loves comic books. He's very talkative. He's very friendly. I would have liked to have met David Borealis because I loved Angel, but I heard he's a jerk. So I don't want to meet him if he's a jerk.
That's unfortunate. Did you hear the news? Did you hear the news they're rebooting Buffy the Vampire Slayer as well?
I heard she's in it and she's going to reprise herself, but I don't know. I don't know. I think they waited like 20 years too long, and I like the original series, and it started. I mean, I'd watch Supernatural again before I'd watch Buffy again. So.
There was a montage someone put up on social media. I'll send it to you. It's through Instagram, and you're on Instagram, so I'll send this to you. Someone made a montage of all the times that a person says, "Get used to it, honey. It's the '90s." People saying, "It's the '90s, man. We got to live in." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was one from Buffy the Vampire Slayer where she says, "This is the '90s, the 1990s." In point of fact, and Buffy's saying it to Giles because Giles is trying to prevent her from going out on dates. Right? It's in the first season. He was like, "You doing this stuff and like going out with boys and then start joining the cheerleading squad. You're joining some kind of cult. You don't like the color. It's just, you know what I mean?"
Yeah.
Hilarious stuff. But well, in all sincerity, congratulations on the Kickstarter.
you.
Keep doing what you're doing. Give my best to your creative team over there at Worthy
will.
Chaos Comics. They're cool people, and I like the inks. I like the colors. A lot of things stand out. Granted, there's
Thanks.
some horror imagery that's going to keep me up tonight. Thanks, America. I may not be the biggest horror fan in the world, but I do respect the genre for what it is because I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street. I've seen some of the other movies that are out there, and yes, I've read some not horror, but just thriller-ish.
You might like You might like this series because the other one's horror action. This is more supernatural adventure. So I think you'd like the Western. So you should check out the Western.
Well, to tell you the truth, the first short story I ever wrote was a Western.
There you go.
So I like Westerns.
Yeah.
And the next one I'm going to write, is a Western because we're looking for submissions for this upcoming anthology. That's going to be Western themed. So
nice.
So.
Well, thanks for having me on. It was nice to talk to you again. I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever. So
it's been a minute. And every time I try to get on your show on Mondays, I always seem to be jammed up with work because I work nights on Mondays, unfortunately. So I can't be there for that monthly show. But if an opportunity presents itself, I'd be more than happy to guest on your show and say hi to your friends. Anytime. All that kind of jazz. Well, it was great to see you. If someone wants to know more about you, they can follow you where?
Facebook, TikTok. I prefer Facebook, to be honest with you. I'm trying to figure out TikTok. I'm an old person. I'm not really good at it. But Facebook, look up Corissa Grant or go to Worthy Chaos on Kickstarter. And there's a Facebook button on there. And you can find me on there and follow me wherever we go.
Awesome sauce. Well, thank you for being with us. It was great to see you. Wish you the best with everything. I'll give you a moment to rest. You can go backstage, hang out for a while, or if you need to go, you're more than welcome to go. It was great to have you, Corissa. Links are located in the description below where you can follow Corissa as well as myself. My name is Ryan of And I Quote Channel. There you go. Follow me across all forms of social media simply at And I Quote Channel. That's where you can follow my YouTube channel, all the things we got going on there. Also, we're on the road on my YouTube channel to 5,000 subscribers at And I Quote Channel. Once we do, we'll throw a great big live stream that will include returning favorites and special giveaways that you, the person who's watching or listening, are going to be eligible to win. Also, we got merch in our Redbubble store. We have shirts, we have hoodies, we have stickers, coffee mugs, stationery, all that kind of stuff. Links are in my link tree, all my social media bios, so check it out there. And if you want to know more, about the great team they got over there at the Madness, we got over here at the Madness Entertainment Group for Freewheeling. Don't forget, Freewheeling Fridays is every Friday night, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Join us for the next one. Thank you for joining us for this one. And once again, do not forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when the videos go up or to go live. And if you want to know more about what's going on with the Madness, take a look.
On the tube and feel the vibe. Every show you crave right here live. Heroes and villains clash in the night. Madness Comic Network sets it right. Scroll through the list, find what you need. Epic battles and fast-paced speed. From capes to cosmic space delight. Tune in and watch your favorites ignite. On Facebook, share the thrill so grand. On X, the buzz across the land. Madness Comic Network all around. In every episode, joy is found. Uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic brightens days. Hey! New uploads, they never end. Superheroes and their friends. Catch every twist and every turn. Madness Comic, you will yearn. Stay up to date with every twist. Madness Comic, don't miss a gist. From laughter to tears, every mood. Madness Comic sets the groove. Click that button and subscribe. Catch the wave and ride the tide. Join the fun, join the craze. Madness Comic.